Children, today we are going to talk about secondary sexual characters. We have learned in chapter 9 that testes and ovaries are the reproductive organ. They produce the gametes, that is sperms and ova. In girls, breasts begin to develop and boys begin to grow facial hair, that is mustaches and beard. As the features help to distinguish the male from the female, they are called secondary sexual characters. So, under this feature, what happens? The external body structure changes can be seen. In girls, breast develop, and in boys, hair growth can be seen, facial hair growth, and in which you have mustaches and beard you can see in case of boys. Boys also develop hair on their chest, and in boys and girls hair grows under the arms and in the region above the thighs or the pubic region, internal part, private parts, hair growth can be seen. So these are the secondary sexual characters, and secondary sexual characters are controlled by hormones, that is the changes which occur at adolescence. It is controlled by hormones, and hormones are chemical substances which are secreted by glands called endocrine glands, and the whole system is considered as endocrine system. Male hormone are called testosterone, and female hormones are called estrogen. Male hormones begins to release by the testis at the onset of puberty. As the adolescence starts, puberty period starts, male hormone is secreted or released in testis, and this causes changes in boys about which we have just learned. The external or the secondary sexual characters can be seen after the testosterone hormone is released by testis. In same way, in girls, once the puberty is reached, ovaries begin to produce female hormone, which is considered estrogen, and milk secreting glands or mammary glands develop inside the breast, but milk secreting glands work or gets activated when the girl becomes pregnant or delivers a baby after the reproduction takes place. The production of these hormones is under the control of another hormone secreted from an endocrine gland called pituitary gland. Actually, pituitary gland stimulates testes and ovaries to produce their hormones. So testes and ovaries are under the control of pituitary gland. And now we will talk about other endocrine glands. And before that, pituitary gland, situation of the or location of the pituitary gland is brain. It is attached to brain. Now the other endocrine glands are thyroid, which is situated here, neck, then adrenal gland, pancreas, then you can see position of the ovaries in the female, male testis. So these are the endocrine glands, whereas when we were talking about pituitary gland and ovary and testis, these glands are responsible for the reproduction, and the other glands which we are going to talk about are responsible for several other development in the body. Some of them secrete digestive enzymes, and some controls the body growth. Let's see. Apart from the pituitary, the testis and ovaries, there are other endocrine glands in the body such as thyroid, pancreas and adrenals. And from the figure you can see, locate out the different glands, and this picture you have to draw it in your science notebook one time, and you have to label it properly. This is your homework. And thyroid gland produces thyroxine hormone, and if the production of thyroxine hormone is not sufficient, then the person suffers from disease called goiter. And in this disease the person has a very big and a bulging throat. Then we would talk about the pancreas. Pancreas, that leafy structure which you can find between the or in the space that comes between stomach and intestine. If it stops producing producing hormone called insulin, then, or if it produces more insulin, two cases can happen. Either it stops producing insulin or it produces more. Then in that case a person suffers from diabetes. So pancreas is that adrenal gland which produces hormone called insulin, which is helpful or which is related to the digestive system. Its insufficient quantity creates sugar problem in a person, and has to be very careful while having food. Is not good for the health of a diabetic patient. Okay, then we move on to the next, that is adrenal glands. It secretes hormones which maintain the correct salt balance in the blood, just as the insulin which balances the sugar in the blood or in the body. Here adrenal balances or maintains the correct salt balance in the blood, and adrenals also produce the hormone called adrenaline, and it helps the body to adjust to stress when one is very angry, embarrassed or worried. That is the reason when you get angry or embarrassed or you worry a lot, the blood pressure goes high or low. The intake of salt, the salt balance gets disturbed, then again you suffer from the blood pressure. So adrenaline hormone, which is produced by adrenal, it helps to work out when you are stressed. Now thyroid and adrenals secrete their hormones when they receive orders from the pituitary through its hormones. So pituitary also secretes growth hormone, which is necessary for the normal growth of a person. So you can see that all the other glands are more or less controlled by the hormones secreted by pituitary gland. So we can say in our local language, that's the father of all the glands.